Star Wars is well known for its lightsaber fights, but me, I'm not really arsed by them. They're just sword fights with pretty flashing colours to keep the kids interested. My favourite bits in Star Wars were always the space and aircraft battles like the Death Star and the Death Star 2, the one which they didn't hire Polish workers for, so it never got finished on time. And who can forget the totally not Death Star from The Force Awakens? Alright, so Star Wars has a thing for shitely built super weapons, but the ship designs and some of the creative set pieces from the films were begging to be explored in video game form. So we got Rouge Squadron, which was decent, but I've never played Rouge Squadron 2, so I'm reviewing that. Alright, do it. It's an arcade flight combat game set across the original 3 Star Wars films. You take part in key battles from the trilogy, as well as some of the ones the team have created that take place in the timeline, but don't quite have the creativity or quality of the scenarios from the films, all round out at 10 missions with a couple of unlockable ones. And when I say arcade, I mean it. You're not going to perform flight checks or land. No, Rogue Squadron isn't a dad game, it's just left stick to move, A to shoot, B to missile, and L and R to control your speed. Nice and simple. It starts off with the Death Star attack in episode 4, and it's the Star Wars game to finally do the Death Star trench run right, in my opinion. The one in the original Rogue Squadron was too slow. This game though had a much better sense of speed, as well as a much larger sense of scale. The amount of stuff going on screen at once really gives you the sense you're in a large scale battle, especially the Battle of Endor level towards the end. That can sometimes be a detriment though. The amount of fire coming at you at once can be pretty much impossible to dodge, especially in the worst mission of the game, Razor Rendezvous. You have to take down a Star Destroyer in a very short time limit whilst also protecting your own capital ship. If you go near the Star Destroyer, every single fucking gun opens up at you. Even if you tell your teammates to go for the guns, they don't bother. They're obviously smashing an Empire girl on the side, the traitors. And you can't destroy them yourself because they are shielded. Oh yeah, there's squad commands: shoot down ties, shoot out guns, or form up. Top tip, just tell them to shoot the ties down all the time, it keeps them off your arse. Honestly, when I got to this mission, I thought it was impossible, so I looked online and found out it's easier if you have the upgraded shields, which you can get from a secret area in the Battle of Hoth. Apparently there's a few tech upgrades hidden throughout the game, but honestly, fuck that. I cheated, because despite the saying cheats never prosper, I finished the level after entering the cheat code for infinite lives and all the tech upgrades, so tongue punch my fart box, whoever said that quote. I didn't mind because some of the missions in this game felt obtusely difficult if I didn't have the tech upgrades. It just felt like a shitty reason to replay levels and pad it out. Since it only has 10 missions, I can see why, but I am a man of little patience. Some of the levels have time limits, but the game doesn't communicate that very well. In one mission, I got a message over my radio saying that the enemy ship was about to jump into hyperspace, and I went, well, hang on a sec, mate, that's the first I've heard of it, and how do you know that? Has that Imperial girl you've been smashing told ya? The unlockable levels and ships require you to get gold medals in levels to earn points to buy them, but getting gold on some levels seems impossible unless you're a psycho. So do you know what I did, dear viewer? I cheated. And just entered the code to unlock the hidden levels. I like the one where you play as Vader shooting the rebels down, attacking the Death Star. That's a cool little what-if scenario, but the other two aren't really that special. I don't want to give the wrong impression of the game though, because when the game isn't being a proper bellend, it's really good. There's a nice variety of ships that feel different to fly, and it's just really satisfying to play. Shaking a TIE fighter off of you, then gunning it down, then watching it fall down to the planet's surface to explode just makes you feel like an ace pilot. The missions sometimes have you fighting in different environments as they progress, as well as switching up ships, so there's plenty to experience in the short runtime. You can replay missions using different ships, but I wasn't really asked about that myself. And this game was only made in 9 months to hit the Gamecube launch, which is pretty impressive. It has the authentic look down. Even playing this today on the Gamecube, it looks really good. I would love to see it running on a decent PC using the Dolphin emulator. It does have pretty bad frame rate problems whenever there's big explosions, but it does run at 60 frames a second mostly. It's a game that's easy to pick up and play. It looks the part as well as sounding the part, but just needed to tone down the difficulty spike bullshit at points. My advice would be to use the cheats to unlock all the levels, then just have a go on all of them apart from Razor Rendezvous. If you have Rogue Squadron 3, it has a split screen co-op version of Rogue Squadron 2 on it, which makes the game much easier to manage. But I'll talk more about that when I do Rogue Squadron 3. Honestly can't remember if that was poo or not, guess I'll find out.